Entrepreneurs are the storytellers for the future. Steve Jobs, Larry Page, Travis, Sergey Brin, and many more founders like that communicate through the art of storytelling.
If you kind of make a Business School 101 graph with a smart axis and the easy to use axis, phones, regular cell phones are kind of right there. They're not so smart and they're not so easy to use. But smartphones are definitely a little smarter, but they actually are harder to use. They're really complicated. Just for the basic stuff, people have a hard time figuring out how to use them. Well, we don't want to do either one of these things. What we want to do is make a leapfrog product that is way smarter than any mobile device has ever been and super easy to use. This is what an iPhone is. Okay?
I came across an interesting pattern on how startup founders communicate. They have the ability to imagine, ideate, and inspire action through the past, present, and the future. And this is how the pattern looks like.
We are one global community. The mother in India who wants to work so her family can have a better life. The father in the US who wants a cleaner planet for his children.
They communicate through great stories. People don't remember points, they remember stories. State a point, tell a story. State another point and tell another story. They understand the customer problem hypothesis. Every great startup founder knows who their customers are and what are their problems. They put forth their hypothesis to the people through their communication strategies. For example, I believe that the current engineering students will join Startup Village because they have a growing interest to startup while in college.
So we added a new teammate. This is Nathan Blasharczyk, our third co-founder. We now had design and engineering expertise on a founding team. And together, the three of us decided, hey, this works for a conference in San Francisco. What if we did this for conferences around the United States? That makes sense. People can share airbeds for conferences.
Startup founders give a sense of credibility to the users by talking about their team and their expertise. Startup founders emotionally connect with their users by using words like belief, disrupt, change, and many more.
It takes courage to choose hope over fear. To say that we can build something and make it better than it has ever been before. You have to be optimistic to think that you can change the world. And people will always call you naive, but it's this hope and this optimism that is behind every important step forward.
Follow the golden circle approach. Why, how, and what. Startup founders first explain why they believe in the product, and then they go on to explain how are they trying to solve this problem. And by this time, they would have already sold the idea to the users. And then they explain what is the next action item for them.
About a category of things, the most advanced phones are called smartphones, so they say. And they typically combine a phone plus some email capability, plus they say it's the internet, sort of the baby internet, into one device, and they all have these plastic little keyboards on them. And the problem is that they're not so smart and they're not so easy.
Startup founders tell great stories to help you visualize the problem. They put you into an imaginary world of the problem and say, hey, so we are here to solve your problem and this is how we are going to do it. And then they inspire you to go get the product.
An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not three separate devices. This is one device.